Hey there, this is part 2 of the DVDs I don't own. Before I go ahead, I have got my tea, and this is one of my preferred mugs to have one of the see-throughs. You can actually see the amber coloring of the tea. I use brown sugar to give it a bit more flavor, especially when I'm using a regular tea, like a black tea. Again, oh well, that's, that could be for another video. But anyway, stuff I don't have. It's unusual, actually, go into stuff that you don't have as opposed to stuff you do. For me, I'm a Doctor Who fan, and I've got a lot of Doctor Who DVDs, original ones, because I'm a big fan of the original series. But I have not been able to come across yet, and it'll seem strange, Genesis of the Daleks, and a couple others like Survival. Oh, here's a kitty. And a couple of the others, especially around the classic ones that I wanted to get. But Genesis stands out as one of the ones that most everybody's got that I really haven't got yet. As for Criterion stuff that I don't have, I do have the MK2 versions of a couple of the Charlie Chaplin ones, but I really would love to get the Criterion Gold Rush down the road. It's one of the biggies in my thing. I like to get a lot of the Criterion horror, so I've got Videodrome and Looney Baba, if you want to consider them horrors, along with Picnic at Hanging Rock and The Last Wave, Night of the Hunter, stuff like that. And Rosemary's Baby, of course. But there's still a few of the Criterion horror selection that I don't have, including The Devil's Backbone. I actually went for a contest. Didn't win, I don't think, on that one, but I gave it a try anyway. Scream Factory, I'm pretty good. I think I've got most of the stuff there. I'm keeping up pretty much with it so far. The next big Scream Factories that I really, really want are actually in October and Halloween. We'll see how that goes. Working on. I do not have any Blue Underground in a Blu-ray. I just noticed that. All my Blue Undergrounds I managed to get, and my favorite, I guess, would probably be either Suspiria, 3-disc edition. There's a 3-disc edition with a CD. It's all cool and all, but I'm happy with my 2-disc edition. Very much so. And I like the Living Dead, the Manchester Morgue, and the Prowler. Those are the ones that stand out in my Blue Undergrounds that I actually do have. Getting these back in sometimes. They're a pain in the ass. Just looked at my collection over there. I've got Volume 2 of Charlie Chan coming. That'll be my first Warner Oland version. I find it really hard to find Volume 3, although I've found Volume 1 around. So that's one that I don't have. And it'll be interesting to get, because it's an interesting story of what happened to Warner Oland through his last years, and how he actually literally became Chan. So it's talked about a lot in Volume 3 and on some of the featurettes, and I would love to have that. I have House and House 2. I don't know if House 4 is ever put out, so I don't have that yet. Witchboard I've got on Anchor Bay, but they just announced Scream Factory in, I'm not sure if it's in 2014. It's putting out Witchboard, by the way, and Night of the Demons, the original, on Blu-ray. So super stoked about those. Don't have them, but those are going to be ones. Those are day one purchases. Night of the Demons is one of those movies that I really, really love. And a Linnea Quigley lipstick sequence. Okay. I have yet to buy the last Phantasm film, Phantasm 4 Oblivion. That's the only Phantasm film not in my collection. And if you've seen my videos, you know that I am a fan of Phantasm. I like very visual movies. I like very trippy, very different movies. And like I mentioned earlier on this week, there was a Wes Craven set that came out with People Under the Stairs and a couple other things on it that I don't have, that I wouldn't mind having, actually. There's a few in the gangster sets, and a few of the film noirs that I have left to get to fill out my collection. But overall, I've got to say I've been pretty lucky with a lot of stuff I've gotten. And, well, more than lucky. I've luck into things all the time. And I've been blessed with some weird spotty vision thing when it comes to DVDs. I can walk into a store, literally like in a town that I've never been in before, and find a rack of DVDs. It's weird. I can go into like a Canadian Tire and find rare DVDs, and I've done it. I found my what's it, After Midnight, something like that. It was the anthology one. I found that one at a Canadian Tire. I found a bunch of MGMs at Canadian Tire. Unfortunately, they don't sell DVDs anymore, but they did. It's harder to think of stuff that you don't have when you just off the cuff like this. There's so much that I want, so much that Synapse has put out that I want, so much that Redemption has put out that I want. I have nothing Redemption. That's been one of those thorns in your thing. It's been for me, because Redemption is such a big company, and they put out such good stuff, and they've done a lot of the what do you call it? A lot of stuff for especially recently for the Jess Franco, and I really like to get some of those. I want their Pete Walker set, and I want some Pete Walker DVDs. The cover of the comeback doesn't suit the film, which is the reason that I didn't pick it up last time. I ended up picking Frankenhooker instead. But the comeback is one that really stands out for me as one that I really want. I would love to have some Shameless in my collection. Again, I'm a Giallo fan, a really big Giallo fan, and when those 3 Giallo sets came out, the cheaper ones from Popcorn Flicks that looked like they were going to be recalled, and for a while I think some of them were recalled, I ran out that day and grabbed all 3 of them at my local HMV because they were taking them off the shelf. A lot of Fulci stuff I got, but there's a lot of stuff I don't have with Fulci that I wouldn't mind having. There's just some different films. A lot of Hammer. I don't have a lot of Hammer in my collection. I do not have, I don't think, Twins of Evil may be my first Hammer Blu-ray. So, yeah, it's harder talking about stuff you don't have. You want to, when you're collecting and you're on here, you come on a brag with stuff you got. So, or just like, show it and showcase it. So, to do a video doing just the opposite, it's challenging. And I like that. Can you think of anything I don't have?
No. I think you have enough.
Yeah, she got enough. If she only she knew. There's a few. Let's look over here. I'm a big fan of pre-code films. I managed to finally find a Forbidden Hollywood set for a decent price. That was Volume 3. And luckily it's the one that had the 2 William Wellman documentaries, like full-length William Wellman documentaries. So that was super fine for me. And that's one that I had to pick up.
Dark Shadows.
True, Dark Shadows. But the two of the biggest things sets that I want, that have eluded me so far. One because of price, and the other because just timing. And one was the Dark Shadows coffin box set. Everybody knows about that one. 131 discs, I think 127, 131 discs. That's one I do want to get down the road. That's one I'm either going to find out at just one of those Amazon sale price things, or I'll leave it to my better half to find a time that we can actually afford it, and she can surprise me with it, which is usually how it happens, to be honest. One of my favorite films of all time, my favorite film of ours, was Kiss Me Deadly. And I didn't think it came out on Criterion. I never planned on, at the time, picking it up, because even though it was something I really, really wanted, but she reads me really well, I guess. It was one of those days I was kind of in a funk and something like that. And she it was a surprise. When we got home, was she had bought me "Kiss Me Deadly," and I hadn't known it, and it is still one of my favorite all-time Criterions. On Father's Day, one year she ended up getting me "Night of the Hunter," another one of my favorite films. So when you got a good person behind you when it comes to this type of stuff, it helps. And I have a really good person with me when it comes to this type of stuff. So that's some of the stuff I don't have. I'm sure I'm missing a lot of stuff either way. And a lot of Arrow I don't have. There's a heck of a lot of certain directors that I don't have that I wish I had more of. But yeah, thanks for the question. I gotta say, it was a challenge to think it up. Mary Bab, Volume 1. Anchor Bay put 2 volumes. I got Volume 2. I did manage to pick up Black Sabbath because that is one of my favorite Baba films. But the other ones in that, like Black Sun and stuff like that, still don't have. And those are some of the ones that I still need to get in my collection. And I'm still collecting Hitchcock and hoping to get like more of his stuff. I've got about 15, 16 Hitchcocks in my collection right now. 2 of them are Criterion. The Man Who Knew Too Much and the 39 Steps are Criterion. The other ones are Rope, Rebecca, Shadow of a Doubt, the Essential Hitchcock collection that came out with with Psycho and North by Northwest and all those on. The Man Who Knew Too Much, the remake done in the 50s. Of course, I got the other Psycho movies that weren't done by Hitchcock, but were good and like continuations of the Psycho franchise on their own. And I did have, but I've since looked through and got all my DVDs together and realized that I no longer have Strangers on a Train or the 2-disc edition of North by Northwest, which I know were 2 that I used to have. And Strangers on a Train is probably one of, if not my favorite Hitchcock is Shadows of Doubt, but Strangers on a Train's up there. So right now I'm going to enjoy the amber tea with brown sugar, and if you're a tea drinker, I recommend it. Hopefully I'm going to grab some coffee in the next day or so. I got to grab some more French vanilla for my Tassimo, and thanks for watching. I'm going to do another video really soon, and it's time for tea.